Hi, everyone. Today, Igor is going to present our rate automations feature, which is available in AdvanceCM. This feature allows you to apply percentage-based or fixed adjustments to your rates across different channels, optimizing your pricing strategy for every platform that you use. There's also one big question in this feature, which is can we also create dynamic rates with AdvanceCM? So I would kindly ask Igor to walk us through this feature and explain.
Thank you, very much for this introduction, and thank you everyone who's watching this video. Today, I'm going to show you everything about our automated rates option and even how to manually create dynamic rates with AdvanceCM. So once we are in AdvanceCM, we'll go into automations. Once in this screen, we do have an option that is called Auto Create. And under Auto Create, you're going to find the option that is called Automated Rates. So let's go and check it out. Once we are in Automated Rates, I would like to point out a few very important adjustments that we have created with our program. First of all, very simple one that probably everybody knows is channel adjustments, but also there is a minimum night stay rule that we will cover, gap night, and last minute adjustment. So once we're in channel adjustments, we can easily create different rates based on the default rates that we have already created. And when I say different rates, I mean different rates on different channels. So under the channel adjustment, we will click on Add Automation, and we will simply, in 3 clicks, create different pricing on different channels. So the system is right now asking us select the channel where you would like to adjust your pricing. And in this case, I'm going to use Expedia. Now, I'm going to select the rentals where I want the changes to take effect. And here, in this part of the automation, I can adjust my rates that I already created in the system by certain amount of money, or I will say adjust percentage, where I will instruct the system to bring up pricing on Expedia by 8%. I will click Save, and again, in 3 simple clicks, we just created different rates on Expedia. We will repeat the same process if we want simply to create different rates on Booking.com, Airbnb, Agoda, or any other channel that we are connected to. That being said, let's talk about how AdvanceCM can bring up your occupancy and help you earn more revenue. So if we take a look at the minimum night stay option, what will the system allow us to do? So once in this minimum stay night option, we will click on Add Automation. And again, we will follow the system. First of all, the system is asking us, give us a name, give me a name of that automation that you're creating right now. And I can say low season stay, for example, right? Now, I'm going to tell the system that I want this automation to last only from 9th of April until, let's say, 8th of May, because this is what I consider for myself to be a low season. Now, again, I will select the properties where I want this automation to take effect. And this is a very awesome thing that you can do with AdvanceCM. For this time period, I'm going to instruct the system to allow guests on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to be able to book 1 night stay. But when Friday, Saturday, and Sunday comes, they need to book at least 2 nights for this time period. And of course, once I click Save, I will be able to see all of the automations that I created just for the minimum night stay. I can also, again, come and say Add Automation, fill up everything, but this time I would use a different date range. Let's say I'm going to say from 1st of June until end of the July. Again, I will select my properties that I want to be affected by this time period. But here I'm going to say on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you will be able to book 2 minimum night stays. But when Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday comes, you need to book at least 3 nights of minimum stay. If I click Save, let me just put the test name, and if I click Save, again, I can see in a very nice overview for how long this certain automation will last, and I can see everything really organized. Now, if on this adjustment we add a gap night rule, you can really boost your occupancy and your revenue. So instead of going manually, changing the dates that are available between the bookings, now with AdvanceCM, you will do that automatically, and you will again make as many automations as you like throughout the year. So once in a gap night option, I will say add automation again, and I will give it a name, right? Let's say main automation. Again, I will give the system a date range where, again, I will tell him from the 9th of April until the end of the May, I want these rentals to be affected. And what will happen? Let's take a look. If we do a mouse rollover or a gap nights rule, the system will give us an explanation. So the system is asking for the maximum number of available nights between two bookings, right? So if I tell the system, look up to 5 nights that are available between the bookings, minimum night stay needs to be 2 nights. And in this case, I will lower down the pricing by 10%. What will happen? If the system sees that we have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 nights that are available between the two bookings, it will automatically lower down the pricing by 10% on those days. And all of the sudden, you have smart dynamic rates using our PMS and channel manager solution. Right, I can click save. And then again, maybe instead of saying add automation, I can again open the same automation that I created. I can just say add item. And now I can say, well, for this same date range, right? If there is up to 7 nights of available bookings, minimum night stay needs again to be 2 nights. But for this amount of available dates, I just want to lower down the pricing by 5%. And as you can see, you can create multiple adjustments regarding the available dates between two bookings. And all of a sudden, again, you have smart dynamic pricing with just using our solution. If we click save, we can now take a look at the last minute adjustment option. And remember, these options that you see, these options are mostly reserved for smart pricing tools. And this is something that we have unlocked in advance.
Oh, so it's free, right?
Absolutely. It's coming
amazing.
Free out of the box, included in AdvanceCM for the same pricing.
Nice.
Now, if we take a look at the last minute adjustment, again, the setup is pretty much the same as you can see whatever tab I have opened. If I click again on add automation, you're going to see the same layout, but a few different options. Again, I will give it the name, main. I will give it a date range where I can say, hey, again, from the 9th of April until the end of the May. I will select the rentals that will be affected. And now I can say if the guest is coming 1 day before the booking, so if the guest created the booking on your Airbnb or on booking.com website, and if the guest is coming, if he or she has done that 1 day before the arrival date, you can tell them, okay, you need to stay at least 3 nights, but the first day of staying, I will lower down the pricing for you by 15%. So again, what will happen? If we take a look at calendar and imagine that I'm on your Airbnb page right now looking at your property, and I want to create a booking for tomorrow, you will allow me 15% discount on the 10th of April, but I would need to book at least 3 nights, meaning that I will pay for the 2 nights at a normal price. Again, with AdvanceCM, you will be much more competitive, you will boost your occupancy, and at the same time, AdvanceCM can bring you more revenue and automate your day-to-day work. If I click save, this is done. So we have set up the minimum night stay, the gap night automation, and the last minute adjustment. Now, if you remember at the beginning of this video, Milica also mentioned ability to create, if we can create dynamic rates only using AdvanceCM. Yes, absolutely, we can do that. So if we go into dynamic rates option, we can here easily add a dynamic rate to multiple properties or to every single property. Depends on what are your needs and how you manage your rates. Okay, so let's use the simpler way, but both ways are very simple because you have the option to click on the drop down, just select one property, or create group dynamic rates. So in this case, once we have clicked on add dynamic rate, the system is first asking us, give me the rental where you want to create the dynamic rate, which we did. Now we're going to give it a rate name. Let's say it's going to be called main dynamic, main D. We're going to leave the rate category to default because whatever channel adjustment that we created for any channel, that adjustment will be even applied to the smart dynamic rate, manual dynamic rate that we have done here. So again, we will tell the system, I want this rate to last from the 1st of April and let's say until end of the May. And remember, you can add as many dynamic rates or even standard rates as you like. You're not limited to, just create a rate for a month or something like that. You can really create rates for 2 days, a week, a month. It's really up to you how you manage your rates, right? So once we have selected the date range, this is basically the main brain of our dynamic manual rates. Based on your knowledge and all of other options that we just showed you in this video, you can really boost your occupancy and your revenue in the same time. So let's follow the system. System is asking us first to give it a low rate, which we will never go under, right? The minimum rate, that's absolutely the red line that we will not cross. So let's say in this example, I will say that $80 per day is my minimum price that I will never go under. The next step is where the system is asking us, give us the highest nightly rate that can be set. So I will tell the system, my high rate when I reach a high occupancy is, let's say, $250 per night. Now, the next step is that we need to give the system the minimum occupancy level before it starts increasing the $80. And I can say, well, listen, I consider that my minimum rate is 30%. What does this mean? System will look at the calendar of each of your properties, and it can see exactly how high your occupancy is, right? So if we have put here 30%, until we reach this point, the system will constantly push $80 per night. Now, the system is asking us, give me the highest occupancy rates highest occupancy level when you want me to start pushing the $250 per night. And I'm going to tell the system, well, I consider that my high occupancy is reached when I have 65% of bookings of my calendar on a certain property. And on the last but not least, we need to give the system interval that he's going to use for calculating occupancy and setting rates. So we can tell him, hey, I want you to look at the calendar of each of my property weekly or monthly. In most cases, we'll say monthly, right? And there we go. All of the sudden, you have smart dynamic rates when you include all of the automation options that we have provided with AdvanceCM. Yes, you will use your knowledge of the market, but remember, with AdvanceCM, you can also use RayGenie, that is our very powerful smart pricing tool. But maybe on some other meetings, we can talk about our smart pricing tool and how it can really bring up your occupancy and your revenue. On the end, in this setup, we will just tell the system that a minimum night stay is 2 nights. Maximum guests that can stay in this apartment is 5 people. I can also activate additional guest fee if you're using that, where I can say, I want to charge $30 more if the guest count is about 3 persons. And a very nice tool is that also, even though the system will create dynamic pricing as you have instructed it, you can also put specific rates on a certain date where you can say, no matter what happens and no matter how good my occupancy is, when Friday and Saturday comes, I want to charge at least $120 per night. So even though the smart rates are doing its thing, you will tell and instruct the system, you need to override that. And when Friday and Saturday comes, these are the rates that I want to push to for my rentals. Once we click create, we are done. So let's recap. With AdvanceCM, not just that we are a full PMS solution and a channel manager solution where you can control every single aspect of your business and automate 99% of your day-to-day work. It can also help you to boost your occupancy and bring you more revenue. Remember, with channel adjustments, discount code, minimum night stay, gap night, and dynamic rates option, and of course, last minute adjustment. Thank you very much for this meeting today. And of course, we will proceed and build even more videos that will teach you and show you how you can earn and boost your occupancy.
Yes, thank you, Igor, so much. You made it really crystal clear. I think that everyone can understand this, and we can see how with using AdvanceCM only on existing rentals, we can really increase our revenue and occupancy rate. So thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Bye.
All the best. Goodbye, guys. Thank you.